Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm Worm, this is the Proton. Today we're doing another review of an item we did receive free of charge. It will not affect our review in any kind of way, shape or form. Today's item we received from JacVapour.com. The item in question is the V1P PCC Starter Kit.
Indeed. This is the V1P PCC Starter Kit. So we'll call it the V1P from now on, guys. It's just going to be easy for us. Price $35.99 from JacVapour.com. You get loads and loads of stuff in the PCC kit, and we're going to open it up, show you what you get and what it's for. There's some optional extras as well, which we'll go through very briefly. But the standalone kit, as is $35.99. Okay, we'll go for it. Let's go for it.
Yes,
okay. When you get your kit, obviously you pop that off. You've got your instruction manual. Is in the lid for me anyway. So I was like, I can't find the instructions because they're in the lid. First thing you get, guys, is, or what he knows anyway, is these little coloured bungs for Cartomizers. It's just so you can differentiate between the flavours that you've got. So if you've got several flavours, then you are able to tell which is which. Chuck them in that lid. With the kit, you'll get your choice of your pre-filled Cartomizers. They'll all be one flavour, so maybe not relevant straight away. But when it comes to then replacing them, it probably is going to be. You get a couple of these, which are the end caps for your batteries. You can change the colour of the light. So you can have it blue, pink, yellow, loads and loads of colours. You get standard ones with it, and then you also get a couple of extras, which is quite cool as well, just in case you fancy change, or for whatever reason.
I don't want to say that you did. Obviously, they have been watching our website, or YouTube and that, because they sent me the pink ones.
Yeah, they obviously had worm well and truly in mind for them.
It's a shame for him.
Yeah, basically, whilst we just called it, I do think that is really cool actually, because that's the first time I've actually seen you've been able to change the light colour. Once you kind of made your choice, you're stuck with it. A lot of people when they're coming off of cigarettes think, oh, I'll have it in white with a red tip or whatever it is you do. I'm looking at it now, I can't actually see a red tip available. There is a reason for that, because that was the thought of many companies when you first started making them red tips. Problem is, then when you use your electronic cigarette where you're allowed to, you get nothing but dirty looks and people staring at you because it looks too much like a cigarette and they think you're smoking indoors. So bear that in mind. Okay, if you're going to make this choice, what may seem like the right choice to start with, you'll probably end up regretting if you make it look exactly like a cigarette. This is your PCC, or personal charging case. Okay, you may see it's got a red light on the back there. That's because I'm actually charging one of the batteries in there at the minute. And if I slide this, basically all you do is that, you slide that open, and in there, you can see it's charging, so I've got the blue light on. This is the kit in black. You've got one there with, this is a slightly longer battery, 65mm, with the Cartomizer attached to it, and this is the 55mm one that's on charge. Alright, we'll go through how you do that in a minute. But you also get that with your PCC.
I do want to point out what it says about the batteries. We're not sure which one you actually get with the case, because we've got both sizes and it doesn't state, but you can choose both sizes as the second battery.
You can choose your second, basically you get one battery of the kit, but you can choose the second one for $9.99, any colour, size, so on and so forth. I would recommend doing that just because it's nice to have two. But you don't need to, because your case will charge it for you when you're not using it. So that's the advantage of this kind of system. Very good. You'll also get a pack of your pre-filled Cartomizers. You can choose the strength and flavour. These are 12mg tobacco, but you can get all the way from nicotine free, all the way through the nicotine range, and you get all kinds of tobacco flavours, menthol, and then a load of fruit and other flavours as well, which is pretty good that you do get to choose. Usually they just come with tobacco flavours, which isn't always good. You have your USB charger. I think this is not for extra. This one's about £2. Okay, it just means you can screw your battery straight into the end there, plug it into the USB port, and that will charge it away. And you also have your charger for your PCC case, which again is USB and plugs into the PCC. When I first got this, opened it up, put it on charge, and I was charging a battery with the case whilst charging the case. So if you did have two batteries and you was indoors, you could stick. You had the optional charger, one on charge through that, one in charge in the case whilst the case was charging. So that's obviously very good as well.
I do want to point this out quickly. These are all 808 again connections again. So just be aware they're not 510. They are 808. But everything on Jac Vapours is 808. So anything you buy from there is going to be usable with everything else. So
to be honest with you, if you're looking at this kind of kit, I'd imagine you either know already what you're looking for, or you're a novice. If you're a novice, 808 and 510 are going to mean nothing to you, and they're not particularly relevant at this particular moment in time with this kind of device, because 808 and 510 devices are interchangeable with each other, but with themselves, but not with each other. Realistically, I'm never going to use, or anyone's ever going to use this battery to run another Cartomizer. Potentially these Cartomizers on another battery, but then chances I'd be 808 again. And you get a little slip with some very sort of, I want to say, cliff note version of what to do with the case, which is handy because if you don't want to have to sit and read through the entire instructions manual, you can read that one little slip and you basically know exactly what's going on anyway. And we've got a little business card in there as well. Okay, out of the box, what you're going to want to do is
so we got 2 of these things out, so we can make them.
Yeah, well, I'm going to open them in a sec, mate. Basically, out of the box, you're going to want to put your case on charge, give it a good few hours before you stick a battery in it and let it charge. Not what I did, but what you should do, right?
We're impatient.
I don't like to wait, to be honest with you. I basically opened it up, like, that battery's going on charge in there, that one's going on charge in there, whilst everything else charges. This did come with quite a fair amount of charge in it, the PCC case. It only took about an hour to charge, but there is a minimum time.
It's just over halfway charge, wasn't it? So
there is a minimum time you recommended to charge it, and I would always do that minimum time just because it's there to extend the life. I would, no, I'm not saying I do, no. I would always do. On part of everyone else, but me, I personally, I don't. All right, I'm not saying you shouldn't, you should, but again, when I put that, I'm impatient. So see, so basically, but again, the batteries inside it as well. Oh, hello, camera. Those batteries there, they came with some charge in them as well. Most batteries when you buy them will come with a charge. So once you've got it charged, all right, it's a fairly easy piece of kit to use. All you realistically need to do is with your battery, this will, let me see. The connection down there, okay, that brass bit down there, I think it's brass, stainless steel actually, stainless steel bit down there your battery screws into will pivot, so you can sort of lift it up to a 45-degree angle, and you just literally twist the battery off. That is no longer on charge, and it can just sit there if it is fully charged. You don't have to leave it screwed in. On the back of the case, you've got your button. If you screw your battery and hold that for 2 seconds, it will then begin to charge that battery, unless of course the battery is charged, in which case it'll flash green at you and won't put charge in that battery, which is good. Stops you discharging your PCC case and overcharging your batteries and potentially ruining everything. If you push the button on your PCC case, you get the 5 lights there, and you get a series of lights to tell you how full that case is. It's on 4. With 5 lights, I'd recommend 100%, 80%, 60%, 40%, 20% in bed.
It's probably dropping off now because it has been. You did stick it on charge about 20 minutes before we started recording.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it wasn't fully charged anyway.
Oh,
I was using this to have that work.
Oh, there you go.
Right. But from the experience I've had so far with it, I fully charged it, tested the battery, and I've charged 2.5 batteries off this, and it's only dropped down to 4 lights. So that's quite good. This case is a 1,200 mAh internal battery in this case. That is quite a lot, and if you charge both of the batteries in here, you're talking about sort of 1,500 mAh walking around with you. Realistically, that's more than enough to do any normal person a day and a half, 2 days.
And to be honest, on these Cartos as well that you do get with it, it's going to use less of the battery power, so this can probably do you 2 days easy without pushing itself.
Using this as your predominant device, depending on what kind of vapor you are. If you're using this like a cigarette, I can see it lasting you a hell of a lot longer than that.
Yeah, probably closer to a week.
But basically, I'm not going to change the tips on these because I like the blue and the black. I think it's very good.
Put a pink one on.
No, but this has got a Carto on it that I've used already, so I'm going to unscrew that and chuck that down. We should point out these are auto batteries. There are option auto manual. Basically, the manual ones will have a little button on it you push to take apart. From the auto ones, you can do that, and I can do it without having to even have a Cartomizer on it, and it will put charge through the Cartomizer at the bottom. With that, or if you're making your choice with this, for this kind of kit, I'd always go auto. Anything bigger than this, ego battery, anything, I'd go manual because it's more comfortable to use, and from Jac Vapour they put out more power. With this kind of thing, I'd always go automatic. They're so small, you don't need a button there. You have a puff and it does the job just fine. And the button's just obstructive, and I personally don't like the way they look.
Not on this kind of device anyway.
Well, not on this kind of device, no. I would go with the auto in this device. It's not saying I'll say ever again probably, unless it's not one of these, but I would always go auto with these. That's your choice though.
Should we get these out?
Yeah, let's get them out.
This is your 5-pack of Cartomizers. We've actually got tobacco, 12 milligrams stick room. Obviously one's already been used, which has got over there. And this one...
That one's been popped out just to show you, but I didn't use it.
Alright, this one's been popped out already, so I didn't have to fiddle around with that, but that's your thing.
They're all sealed.
That's it. Bunch of it down there. You've got 2 rubber bungs on the end, you literally just pull them off. One's a little bit stiffer than the other. Obviously one you've got a screw on one end, now one you've got a rubber bung. That's the end you're going to put in your mouth. That's the end you're going to connect to your device.
Those rubber bungs are specifically made like that so you can pull them out and quickly refill with e-liquid, which is very good because they don't tend to... A lot of the companies that make this kind of device tend to want you to think that them Cartomizers are one single use and throw away. Realistically, you could fill that thing probably 20 times and it'd be absolutely fine. And Jac Vapour, or Jac Vapour, whatever you say, obviously have made it so you can do that, and they're not trying to force you to buy loads and loads and loads and loads.
Yeah, they're quite easy to put out, and obviously you've got your colour changes as well. So
on that note, you can buy your replacement ones empty, and you can use your own juice and your own varied strength or varied flavour, whatever you want to do. You can buy them from Jac's £6.99. I don't think that's a bad price at all for what they are.
No.
They're 35mm in length, specifically made for this. It's very easy to do. You just have to buy some bottle of juice and some of these and you're away. Before we have a vape, we'll compare this stuff quickly just to get it out of the way. Basically, when you've got the Jac Vapours, when you go there, but if you hold on, this is the kit in black. These barrels there. One's 55, one's 65. You do have variant options, okay, when it comes to this kind of thing. That's a 55 in white. Okay, it's exactly the same size as a small one, but that's in white. All right, this is a 65 in white, but this one is the manual button. You push the button there, you push that, and it lights up. I don't actually know, unlike the other batteries where they deliver more power, whether they're manual or not. I don't actually know that. I'd imagine they don't. It's just a manual switch.
I'd assume not, no.
I'd assume not. It'd be nice if they did, but I'd assume not. And I'm not surprised if they don't. And no one does. Okay. There is also the big one. The big one. This is in stainless. You can get them in stainless, and them actual refillable cartomizers that are down there are stainless, so it would look pretty cool. I think this is 70. Sorry, can you just check this for me? I think it's 78 mil.
Yeah, I think it's 78,
we will just check the capacity of these batteries for you.
Yeah, 78 mil.
78 mil. Now, off the top of my head, if I remember right, the 55 are about 150 mAh, the 65 are about 180 mAh, and I think this is about 230. Don't quote us on any of these numbers either. I've just rough numbers. Really sorry, it's a bit sloppy. Now, mAh is going to dictate how long your battery lasts. They don't recommend you use 78 mil in the PCC. I do want to quickly point out that I have been able to more than happily charge my 78 mil in this PCC. Okay, it will fit in there, but I think the reason I don't recommend you to do it is because if you've got the 55 and the 65, okay, your 65 will fit in this entire top slot with a cartomizer attached. And I believe your 55 will fit down there and a cartomizer will still fit in. So you've got two batteries, two cartomizers. Like that, at best you're getting one cartomizer and a 65 up here. If you had both of these length batteries in here, you should be able to charge them. You'd have to keep your cartomizer somewhere else. Slightly defeats the object of this. If you ask me, you kind of want them all in this case. That's the point of it. So I'd go for 65 if I was you. Maybe one of these, but we've got probably why they've done that. Them clever people. Right, gone through the batteries quickly.
So no,
don't really matter. Make use whatever you like. I don't think these. I'm not sure if they're charged. They've got charge in them. It's not the handheld charge. We use the ones that will come with it. They're just the extra batteries, guys. So that's kind of what they look like. They all have blue tips, but you can change them. Just thought we'd throw that out there for you. All of those batteries are £11.99. Choose your type of battery, mate.
Okay.
I'll have the big one. Okay. Once you've got your cartomizer and your battery, it's a simple case of screwing the two together. This is out of the packet. This is exactly what you're going to get. We're literally just taking the silicone bungs off of those cartomizers, chuck those in the bin. And that is it. That is your fully assembled e-cig. Okay, Worm's just doing the same. Are you going to try and change the top of it?
Yes.
Always has to be difficult. It is just a case of pulling those tops off. The reason I didn't want to do it is because I have no fingernails, because I bite them, and it makes it quite hard for me to get stuff like this off. Worm's managed it quite happily. Bastard. So he's just going to put a pink top on, and I imagine Jac Vapours. I imagine Andy at Jac Vapour sent this down with Worm in mind anyway, in pink.
I don't mind. I just wanted to give you the colour difference. So
that's the size difference, guys. Very quickly, when they're fully assembled, it's 1 centimetre exactly. Battery life, I found that battery will last me about an hour of constant use, and I mean constant use. This one about an hour and 25 minutes. If you're using this like a cigarette, that battery will last you 6 hours, no problem. And this one will probably last you about an hour or two. More than that, it's totally different on how you use it, guys. All right, that's how 1 hour or 6 hours. That's how variant it is. Realistically, I think you've got about 3 hours in each battery if you're using it when you're at work and doing everything else. Maybe a bit more.
I was kind of hoping this colour was going to sharpen camera for you guys, but it's just looking like a light, to be honest.
Yeah, so battery life dependent, but I would say of these, it's pretty good. Once you screw it together, just all you do is take a puff of it. So we'll have a quick little puff, and yeah, see how they go. I've used this, so I know how they go, but Worm hasn't really used this. So
no, I haven't. I'm going to try and get up close just so you can see the pink light. Well, it's definitely not blue, but
I mean, the colour of the light really is kind of irrelevant, but it is a very nice feature that they've added, and I think that's pretty cool that they've done that way, because everyone's got their preference.
It almost looks purple when you're pulling on it. I don't know whether
it is kind of, probably because you're looking it down, but it's quite sort of a light pink, dark pink, but you can see a light behind it.
Yeah.
But it is actually, it's quite cool that you can do that, because when it comes to this kind of thing, this kind of size, there's very little you can do with the looks. I mean, you compare it to sort of massive things like this, you can do loads with those. But when it comes to this sort of cigarette imitation thing, you want it to look like a cigarette. There's only so much you can do to customise it to make it your own. And having been able to change the lights is actually pretty cool, because you can, whatever you fancy. Alternatively, if you didn't have these coloured bungs for whatever reason, you've lost them all, you could put one light on one light on the other, kind of keep track of your flavours that way, which is pretty cool. Or nicotine strengths. So just bear that in mind.
I don't want to say right off the bat, I mean, I'm not going to mention what, but we've previously done another kind of like cigarette imitation lookalike.
It was a
kit.
510 kit.
It's a 510 kit. I'm not going to say what, but this is killing it. Hands down, killing it. As a starter kit, I mean, the fact that you're using Cartomizers, top marks.
Yeah.
You've got to use Cartomizers. I mean,
no, I don't think there's anyone that doesn't use Cartomizers, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But this style of Cartomizers, there are different kind of ones you get out there when you start looking around. But this one is the easiest one to start on. It's going to just literally drip your liquid down the side when it does run out, and you're good to go again.
That's another bonus with these as well. You just literally pull your white bung off. You can see your polyfill down there, and all you do is avoid that central tube and drip about, in this size cartomizer, about 10 to 15 drops, just so if it starts to pull on the top, after 10 drops, stop and let it to absorb for 10 minutes, and that's then refilled. If you're going to use one of these that's kind of dried up a little bit, and you'll be able to tell because the flavours changes slightly, you're going to get the flavour of tobacco for a while until that juice works its way through, probably a couple of fills. But these can still be used with your own juice immediately after they run out. Realistically, a cartomizer, depending on how you vape it, I can't really say this many puffs, that many puffs, because everyone's puffs different. I take 4-second pulls. I know other people don't take 1-second pulls. I like to say they're going to last you easily as long as 2 batteries will, dependent on how you're using it. But just make sure you've got a couple with you that are full, and realistically you're good for a day at work quite happily. You've got about 2.5 mil, maybe 3 mil that way, and that's more than enough. So it's definitely worth thinking about. Should we do a 5-point hit list?
Yes, we
I think we should do a 5-point hit list, just because we're wrapping a bit. Basically, we have a 5-point hit list for this kind of all kind of devices that are e-cig. And the first one that we tend to start on is looks. I'll let you hit first.
As a PCC kit, this looks amazing. It really does. I mean, that is quite easy going to fit in your pocket with 2 batteries, 2 cartomizers. It looks epic. Even in black, I think it looks wicked. Not so much in white, but it does look more like a cigarette in white. So take that in mind. But in the black kit that we got, 9.5 for looks.
Had I been buying this and put a kit together, what Andy sent down to us is exactly what I would have put together, barring the flavour choice. Okay, I would have chosen fruit or something, but as a new buyer, I would have chosen tobacco. Yeah, looks, it's exactly what black and blue is just how everything is now. It looks sleek, it looks very good. This is very small and unintrusive. You can have it in your pocket, not really notice it. It's getting a 9.5 for me for looks. It's very, very nice. Usability.
It's not very hard to use at all. I mean, once this is charged, that's good. Like you should do this probably every night just to make sure. You plug this into this. You screw your cartomizer into the top. You're ready to vape. There is no real, until you get to the point where you feel that juice, you might get a little bit of issues where I know you flood it a little bit, but that's quite easy solved by just blowing through. Done job. It's a 9.5 again. It really is.
I'm going to do 2 points for usability. As well as you said, out of the box, charging it, screwing it together, it's a 10. I don't think you really get much easier for this kind of device. But usability in the long-term use, and that is how you're going to use it. If you're going to use these cartomizers till they're empty once, and last you half a day, maybe a day, and throw them away in a bin, then fair enough, it stays at a 10. That is not very cost effective, if you ask me. You're going to be wasting quite a bit of money on cartomizers when you really don't need to. If you're going to do the sensible thing and maybe buy some empty ones and put your own choice of juice in, so you can mix up, try loads of juices, it's going to drop to an 8, but that's still good marks, still very, very good marks. All you're literally doing is putting some e-juice into these cartomizers and you're away. So for that, it's an 8, so give it, like, combine them overall, it's a 9 if you ask me. That's kind of where I'm on usability. I think it's very, very good and very nice to use.
Maintenance of this thing, well, there really is nothing to clean out, because once your cartomizer bungs up, you're going to throw it away anyway. So literally it's going to be a case of if you're buying pre-flavoured ones, it's a 10. If you're buying your blank ones with filling up your juice, it's like a 9. It's really going to be that simple for you.
I don't need to say anything else. I agree with that totally.
Right, okay.
Exactly. It doesn't happen very often. I've usually got something else to say, but to be honest with you, that is exactly what I think. If you're going to buy the pre-filled ones, because you can buy them pre-filled, and in the flavour combinations you choose, again, it's not that cost effective because you're throwing one away every time. But if you want to do that, it's the option.
It's your money.
It's your money. Do what you like with it. Then yeah, it doesn't get harder. It doesn't get harder from out the box. And out the box is easy as a piece of cake. I was going to swear and I'm trying to refrain from swearing.
Let's go straight on to flavour and vapour. Bearing in mind what this is, I mean, I only give this 2 reviews as we always do for this sort of device. As a starter kit, the flavour is enough.
Bear in mind that what the flavour is as well, though, is it?
Yeah, it's tobacco. I know it's tobacco, but for what I'm getting off of it, I have tried it with when you put your flavour in your one. The flavour is comparable to other Cartomizers. Not quite as good as the top end Cartomizers you can get out there, but still really, really good. So, as a starter kit, flavour and vapour, I want to say 9 overall on both. Compared to other Cartomizer devices, it does fail a little bit. I mean, it's not as much flavour, but you are only running this on a normal battery, which I'm assuming is 3.7. It's still like a 7, which is still really high marks for this device. Just please bear that in mind. It's very high marks for that sort of device.
I am going to chuck something into the mix here. I'm going to do compared to other devices first of all, as well as just ended with compared to other Cartomizer stuff. It is around about, realistically about a 6, okay, in terms of flavour and vapour produced. But I do want to bring this into equation. That is this out of the box screw it works. This is the kind of setup that Worm's talking about. This combined is 100 quid, right? It is a lot of charging, it's a lot of effort, you need to know what to do. You buy the Cartomizers, which are about the same price as these, but you've got to punch holes in them, you've got to secure them in here, you've got to put loads of lead juice in, you've got to prime them properly, you've got to change them every 2 or 3 days when they clog up. There, yes, it delivers more, but these aren't even, they're not in the same league, all right? That's like trying to compare a tricycle. Yeah, easy work. Starter, advanced, all right? That's kind of, it's like trying to compare a tricycle to a supercar. It's just, they're going to be different, but price is a got fact. You couldn't even buy something to run this tank for the price that you get this for.
No.
So bear that in mind. But yeah, realistically sort of 6-ish. But for this kind of device, it's a flat out 10. This is by far the best e-cig look-alike e-cig that I've tried. And I mean by a country mile. The vapour of this thing is really good for what it is, for the size it is. The flavour, this tobacco, I want to say this tobacco flavour actually isn't bad. If you're looking at tobacco,
I hate tobacco.
It's flavourable, isn't it? I mean,
I don't mind. As you can see, I'm still chuffing on this.
It's a very light tobacco, but if you're looking at tobacco flavour and you kind of a light tobacco, then go for it. It's not bad at all. If you're sort of a stronger tobacco smoker, I'd recommend sort of like something like American red tobacco, 24 milligram strength or something like that to get you started.
What tobacco is this? Does it not say, or does it just say
it's just tobacco.
Right, it just says tobacco.
But flavour and vapour of this, for what it is, it's so far ahead of the game. Have you got the really one to hand? Right, okay. We have got another kit, and we haven't actually got it to hand, but we could compare these, and we thought that was fairly good for what it is. But compared to this, that's really not, really not. It's just not. This is actually very good. I'd say the flavour of this, because we did try it with our own juice in one of these Cartomizers,
comes through a lot stronger.
Comes through a hell of a lot stronger. The vapour's a lot thicker, and we've used that juice in a lot of devices, and it's comparable to some that are a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So flavour and vapour of this one actually very impressive for the size of the thing. You won't be disappointed if you buy this. I don't think at all.
Not at all. Not at all. If this is your option to giving up the fags, this is money well spent. Extremely well spent.
Typically, we'd say this kind of device is someone who wants to quit smoking, whereas a lot of other devices are for people who want to continue smoking, but realistically should give it up, so they want to do this instead of. I don't think this is in the same kind of category, because you could quit smoking and continue to do this quite happily. It would still deliver that kind of hit that you want, whereas a lot of these.
But bear in mind, you can knock down your nicotine strength as you go along to 0 at some point. So you can continue on with the flavours and that, but you're just not actually getting any nicotine hit at all. So you can give it up completely and carry on. More of a habit more than a addiction.
Yeah, that's very true.
So overall,
yeah,
for a PCC kit,
you factor in price as well. Bearing in mind,
I'm factoring in price.
$46.90. It's $46.98 with the extra battery.
With the extra battery, it's $46.98. So it's a flat out 10.5. It really is.
For what it is.
For what it is, it's a 10.5. It's pounding that competition into the ground and then smiling down at them. It really is. It's like the starter bully kit. It's kicking everything. It's the bully of the starter kits. Where I'd put my money if I was going to be starting again.
Do want to say we haven't tried thousands of these kind of kits, but we've tried a few now.
Enough now.
And realistically, all of the other ones we've tried would have required quite a bit of willpower still for me to quit the fags. This definitely would require a lot less of that willpower because it's a much better performing device. I just want to throw it in. I will let you crack on.
Yeah. I think I was done. 10.5.
Oh, okay.
It was you.
Right, my overall for this, in general, for just a general e-cig, bearing in mind what we've already got, and we have got a lot of them. If you want to see what it is, check out the channel. You can see what they are. I'm going to give this one a 7 compared to all this other kind of stuff that we've got. For what it is, a PCC cigarette lookalike, it is a 10. There is no two ways about it. The price is $46.98 or $45.98. Sorry, if you include the extra battery, and we'll call it 50 quid with the USB charger. But for this kind of setup, it's worth paying that money. It really is, because this performs. A lot of these other setups, you go, oh, the other one somewhere else is a tenner cheaper. Fine, but it's not going to perform like this one does. And let's face it, you're going to lay the cost out once and be happy with it. The other one, you won't be happy with it properly. You really won't. So yeah, this is a very, very, very good little e-cig. I really actually have quite enjoyed this. We have had other ones like I said before, and I've never even bothered taking them out with me because I knew that they weren't going to deliver. I knew I was going to take them out and it's just going to be wasted space in my pocket or my case because they would not suffice, and I'd put it down straight away and pick up my normal stuff. I've taken this to it a couple of times with me actually. Worm can vouch for this, and I've sat at work in my office doing paperwork, whatever else I'm doing, and quite happily puffed away on this and not felt the need to break out a £200 bloody e-cig. Because they just deliver a lot harder. This has satisfied me as someone who vapes a lot more than this kind of device usually delivers. So yeah, very, very good. Anything to say, mate?
Yeah, I think just before we go, we hit on like the blank cartridge that you can buy. Obviously, you can look around for your flavours, but I just wanted to let you know that we have got some flavours that Jac Vapour did send us through, and we will be reviewing them, each juice on its own, in a dripper, so we can tell you the best you're going to get from this flavour. And yeah, so you might want to check them out if you're looking into buying blank cartridges, and just go over to the Little Juice page. Hopefully we're going to be on there, or you can jump to our channel and have a look there for them. So, but they will be uploaded probably about the same sort of time this will be uploaded. So,
or I mean, yeah, if we're touching on that as well, if you're a new starter, I'd recommend, if you're going to buy this kit and extra battery, I'd recommend chucking on a pack of either the pre-filled ones that you think you're going to like or want to try, or the blank ones, and a bottle of juice. You probably have no idea what to do with all that stuff. But we can drop us a message, we can do a video for you if you really need it. But there's so many videos out on how to fill up Cartomizers with e-juice. I don't really think we're going to have to.
No, if you just search up how to fill up a Cartomizer, you'll literally watch it once and you'll be a pro.
Very simple. We've got Jac Vapours, and Andy sent us down UK range liquid. There's 10 in there. We're going to test them all for you, as Worms just pointed out. If you've watched this, want to buy before seeing those, try not to make a choice that's dramatically too bold, but we have smelled all the flavours. They do smell very good. So go with whatever you fancy. I don't really care.
Except for the nana.
Well, we don't like nanas, so yeah, it's kind of biased there. But I think that's it, guys. I think we've finished this. Hopefully this video has been informative / helpful and semi-entertaining.
Yeah, this was the V1P PCC Starter Kit, and it's frozen.
Well, it may still be recorded.
Well, let's hope so.
But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Proton, and this has been the Worm.
Catch you soon, guys.
See you soon.